Move towards greater openness in the security and intelligence services.
The files being opened today go back to the year 1909, when the Secret Service Bureau, as it was then called, was set up by Captain Mansfield Cumming, known as C, and Captain Vernon Kell, known as K. Their task was to root out German spies in British naval ports. Readers at the Public Record Office will learn how in 1916 the Bureau became a division of military intelligence, hence MI5. By the end of World War I, which is as far as we'll get today, MI5 had 800 staff. It's the first time the security service has opened its top-secret files. The spirit of openness began in 1993, when MI5 announced it was moving into this building on the River Thames. Its Director General at the time, Stella Rimington, gave a public lecture explaining MI5's role of protecting national security and safeguarding the economic well-being of the United Kingdom. Her successor, Stephen Lander, has approved today's disclosures. Long-dead staff will be named, but not agents recruited from outside the organisation. The files being opened today won't set the world alight, but they will provide social historians with a fascinating glimpse of Britain's first organised spy catchers. Joshua Rosenberg, BBC News.
After a 5-year legal battle, the author Salman Rushdie has won possession of a house in India, which has been in his family for 2 generations. The bungalow was bought by his grandfather in the 1940s as a summer retreat in the town of Salman in the northern hill state of Himachal Pradesh.
For a case that's lasted 5 years and been so important to Salman Rushdie, the day of triumph was simple and low-key. A local official in Solon handed over the documents restoring Rushdie's ownership of the 5-bedroom family home to his lawyer. Anis Villa is more than just an ordinary house for Rushdie. Its importance for him is symbolic. India has dominated his imagination and inspired most of his literary output.
He regards this property as having a lot of meaning for him, because not only because it belonged to his late father, who had got the property from his father, but also it is the one which he feels gives him the root in the country. This is the only property he has in the country at the moment, so really re-establishes his roots with the country, and he's very keen to maintain the link and the roots.
Rushdie has said he hopes to visit India and show his 2 sons the place where the family used to spend their summers, enjoy the cool climate and the views of Shimla, the former capital of the British Raj. Rushdie has said he wants to help promote Indian literature by turning the house into a kind of retreat where writers can work in stunning surroundings. Salman Rushdie lives in London. It's unlikely that he will ever come and live in Solon, but he has always made it clear that this old family house has a sentimental value for him. For that reason alone, he will be delighted to get it back. Satish Jacob, BBC News, Solon.
A kangaroo has narrowly escaped a sticky end in Queensland, Australia. Kanga, as the roo was named by his rescuers, apparently stumbled into a mud pit during the night, but he was saved from certain death by the efforts of 2 rescuers.
Kanga had been spotted thrashing about, and clearly his attempts at breaststroke wasn't helping him to escape. Banks of river mud are treacherous places, and by struggling, the kangaroo just sank deeper into the mire. A young local boy, Peter Eversham, had alerted a policeman to Kanga's plight, and between the 2 of them, the kangaroo was dragged from the mud. The animal looked like he now wanted to quickly hop it to safety. After a quick wash and brush up, it appeared he was on his way back to the wilds. But in his eagerness to get out, the luckless Kanga bounced into more trouble, this time by being trapped beneath a canal dredger where he had to be rescued again. There was no choice for the kangaroo other than to go for another swim. But the rescue plans of his new friends appeared to boomerang back on them, as Kanga seemed to look back once more at the water. Watched by amused onlookers, the animal then had to be dragged up the side of the canal bank by his tail. Without even a thank you to the rescuers, the exhausted Kanga went off into the trees, perhaps ruining the day he'd gone too near the water. David Campanale, BBC News.
And now a reminder of our main news.